Hey everyone, here it is, the DIY video that I've been promising for so long. So, yeah, you have to excuse me, like, my workspace is a pigsty, as is the rest of my room. You can see how messy it is. Yes, I'm not perfect, it's true. Anyway, here's what I toiled away at last night until 3 a.m. and that's like really late for me. I never stay up that late. I don't know what was going on in my mind, but anyway, I just had to get this hat finished. But anyway, hang on, we'll put this down so you guys can see a little better. It's my hat, my summer hat that I made. I'm definitely going to be wearing it to Rock on the Range and probably some other metal fests, and I'll definitely be wearing it while I drive my bus in these last few weeks of school, because it's going to be hot and sunny and miserable. And so I'm going to show you guys how I did this, and I'm going to give you some pointers and some ideas so you can do one of your own. So anyway, let me get this off because there's no sun inside, fortunately. Oh god, my hair is even worse than it was a few minutes ago. Christ. Yeah, you can't win. Anyway. So, I'm gonna sit the camera here. I'm experimenting with this little tripod thing, so I'm just gonna kind of just do my best as I go along. And there we go. Okay, that's good. That works. So, anyway. So, yesterday, my mom took me and my daughter up to the wonderful world of Walmart, and we were shopping just for some stuff, and she sprung for everything. I got a shirt, I got a steering wheel cover for my car, let's see, I got underwear, not that you guys needed to know that necessarily, and I got a hat. And oh, and I got a candle too, and I also got some liquid eyeliner, which I experimented with on my hand, as you can see here. And I slept on that overnight, and it actually all stayed on there. So, it's pretty damn cool. Not bad for a $3 junk-ass fucking thing of liquid eyeliner from Walmart. But anyway, here's what the hat started out looking like. As you can see, it's like a dull gray. And it's got these mesh panels on the sides here. It's got this elasticy thing that you can see. You can tighten up the, I guess, around the headband. Yeah. So, and then also, something else it has, and this is pretty damn cool. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cough. It's got this thing to protect the back of your neck from the sun, and it's also got a drawstring to keep it, like, so you can put it around your neck so it'll stay in place on a windy day. So, anyway, unfortunately it is made in China. And let's see about the washing instructions. Hand wash cold, line dry, do not iron. Obviously, you wouldn't iron this shit. Anyway, here's what this started out looking like. This, like, relatively just plain gray hat with these mesh panels. So, I like practicality. I mean, I like things to be, you know, so that they're functional, I guess. But then I like to take those functional things and make them very personalized. And that's the whole point of this. So anyway, let me show you how I made this turn into this. If you guys can see that. So, yeah. Obviously, as you can see, my hat's darker. Well, that's because I used acrylic paint and I used some nail polish. Actually, what I used to paint was this metallic black acrylic paint. Acrylic paint does fine on fabric. It doesn't flake or peel as badly as some paints do. It's relatively cheap. It can get wet. It's not a big deal. And it comes in a really good variety of colors. And also, like, you know, it comes in a smaller container. You don't have to buy a whole big bunch at once. So this was also purchased at Walmart. Folk Art is the brand on this. I actually really recommend Folk Art. I've been using Folk Art acrylic paints since, oh god, I mean, ever since I was a child painting. So anyway, I just squirted a bit of the paint into a little plastic dish lid. Just a little bit. Like, I only put like maybe like a dime-sized dollop's worth, because I'd rather have to keep opening it than like use too much and have some left over and waste it. So, not that I probably wouldn't find a use for it in here. So, but actually, I'm not sure what this is. This came in a kit, a set of makeup brushes. You can see that. That I bought for myself. I have no idea what the hell this is. I think it has something to do with eyebrows and eyelashes, and obviously I'm not using it for its intended purpose. So what I did was I used this stiff bristly brush, and I dipped it in like just a little bit of it. What I get like a little bit on the end. I dip it in the paint, and then I would kind of go over it and just kind of go like in like little, you know, like just let's like do like a little bit to start. And I worked going from the inside of the hat towards the outside of the hat, just to kind of see how that looked, and then like it just kind of lightly smear it on. And I went all the way around, and then I started in the same place and then worked from the outside in. So yeah, and also made sure to cover a little bit of the underside of the brim, just so that there's not this big bright white line going around the outside. And I also coated the side panel here, and then also this dome part on the top of the hat. I did not, however, put a full coat or anything all the way covering the entire underside of the brim. Mainly because if any of the paint does happen to peel or flake, I don't want it getting in my face and my mouth and my eyes and my beard. Yeah, especially not in the beard. That'd be really bad. So, yeah, I left that plain. It just seemed like an intelligent thing to do. And also that shit getting in your hair probably isn't a good idea either. And also it might get on other things. I don't think it would, because acrylic paint really is known for its durability. However, I mean, you never know. So, better safe than sorry, right? So, after I did that with this brush, I cleaned the brush, actually, with nail polish remover. Okay, sorry, I just flashed you with my boobs, I'm sorry. I bought this at CVS, or someone did at some point. It ended up in my room, so I'm assuming I bought it at some point. It's just your basic cheap-ass fingernail polish remover, and it pretty much loosened the paint off, and I used a paper towel to clean it off. And actually, if you use this kind of brush to paint with, you're going to end up getting like paint gunk, like caked inside this little area down here at where the bristles have been embedded into the plastic. And so what I did was I took this cheap little seam ripper and just gently kind of like picked the paint out and just worked at it until it all came out. And it's to my satisfaction. It's not perfect right now, but I'm happy with how clean I got it. It's important to keep your paintbrushes clean, even if they're not actually paintbrushes, just because you get more use out of them that way. So, yeah. There's nothing I hate more than when someone uses a paintbrush and they don't clean it out. It's so wasteful, and it's such a simple task to complete. Just fucking clean your paintbrushes. So anyway, next. Alright, now, most people I think have bandanas laying around, or you can also go to the craft store and buy them. You can get them at Walmart, you can get bandanas just about anywhere, you know. So anyway, here's a panel out of the bandana that I destroyed in the name of art. And here is another panel. Like it was half black and half of this like rusty red-brown color. But it's like two skulls, and there's this floral thing going on. And I really liked the black side of it, and it has you know, these skull flowers. It's like some kind of little flower with a skull in the center. And so I cut those out, and I cut out some other flowers and kind of, you know, left a little bit of the black background around the outline of each one of the little pieces I cut out. And so, I'm going to put this aside. And so, but here's a sample of some of the stuff I cut out. Like, here's one of the skull flowers that did not make it onto the hat. So, anyway, I'm going to put that aside. Excuse me. I'm a little bit sick right now. I've got a bit of a cough. I've been coughing my fucking brains out since, like, yesterday. And, oh, and here's a bird. I think it's a bird. I'm not totally sure which way it's supposed to go. I don't know. It's a bird. I figured it'd be useful for something, so I saved it. Maybe I can make like a little purse or something to match the hat. I don't know. And so, excuse me. Yeah, it's going to be happening quite a bit. Okay, so I basically used fabric tack on the patches to place them on my hat. Now, you don't want to use a lot. And in fact, you know, actually what I'm going to do, since I really don't like the bird very much, just to get rid of it, I'm going to do a quick, if I can find a piece of scrap material laying around here, I'll show you how to do this. Hang on, let me find a piece of scrap material. Ah! Okay, here we go. This will work. This is just black denim. Okay, so you want to take your fabric tack. Let me angle this down so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. And I'll zoom it in for you too. I'm sorry this is so awkward. I'm still kind of like getting used to this whole thing with, and now I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. So, open up your fabric tack, and if you get a bottle of this stuff, you want to make sure you keep it unclogged. Every time you use it, just take like a little piece of scrap material and just rub the excess glue off the top. Oh, and it's not leak proof, by the way. I found this out because it was in a box of stuff at the place I used to live at, and it was on its side in the box, and I thought it would be fine. I was like, oh, well, that cap screws on. I mean, it should be fine, right? Well, I was horribly wrong. When I dug into the bottom of the box to get out the fabric tack, there was like a big, clear, like bubbly blob of fabric glue in the bottom of the box, and a bunch of my stuff was stuck in it, and it was a fucking nightmare. I was so pissed off, and I felt kind of stupid, too, because it's like, well, duh, you don't let a bottle lay on its side. And yeah, I did a dumb, so yeah, it's my own fucking fault, whatever. So anyway, you take your little piece of fabric, and you want to make sure you're putting the glue on the back side. Like there's like on bandanas, there's like a dull side, and there's like the more vivid side that's like the right side or whatever. You want to make sure you're applying your fabric tack to the dull side of the fabric. So in this case, I think this is the dull side. Yes, it is. And this stuff is very thick. It takes it a minute or two to get all the way down to where you can squirt it. So this is going to take a second. Especially if you use a lot of this shit. I mean, it kind of sucks that it leaks. Otherwise, I would store it upside down so that I wouldn't have to sit here and wait like this. I mean, this is fucking ridiculous. So anyway, okay, I think I can squeeze now. You want to start in the middle of your patch and get a big blob started and just kind of smear it outwards. And you kind of, you don't want to use a lot of glue. You just kind of want to spread it outwards towards the extremities of your patch, like so. And see how it's got like that big stringy, like snot looking thing going on? That's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay. I think that's good. And later on, like after you apply your patch and the glue is dry, if you see that some of the edges of it are curling up because they're not stuck down all the way, you can just take a little bit of the glue, like on the end of like a toothpick or something, and dab it underneath those flaps, underneath those edges, and it'll stay down. And so, here we go. You know, obviously you want to like take your patches and practice with them on your hat. Like before I actually bothered to even glue these on, like I took the various different ones, like the pieces I cut out, and laid them on there just to make sure I had like a design that would work and which pieces lended themselves well to filling in the space a specific way. And so you just want to make sure you have a plan before you go so far as to apply your glue. It'll just save you a lot of headache, because if you don't plan what you're doing, you're going to end up wasting glue, wasting materials, you're going to get really frustrated, you're going to end up having done something that can't necessarily be undone easily. And so, I mean, it'll just give you a fucking headache. So make sure you have in mind a plan exactly how you're going to position your patches. Otherwise, you're going to be very upset. So So let's just make believe that I positioned, you know, I've already made up my mind as to where this is going to go. And so you just kind of lay it flat, and you just gently press it down. And then you press down a little harder, and a little harder, and a little harder. You can just take your hand and just hold it in place for a couple minutes and kind of let it bond. And sometimes this shit does seep through, so I mean, it's kind of unavoidable. But, yep, that's how it's done. It says on the bottle this you can put this stuff in the washing machine when you you know, wash your clothes and stuff, like it won't come out. But I really don't know about that, so I err on the side of caution, and I don't put my fabric tacked stuff into the washing machine. I just feel like it's probably not a very good idea. So anyway, I'm trying to get this fucking thing back the way I had it. There, and hopefully it won't fucking fall down. Nope, that still isn't right. Oh, Christ. I'm sorry, you guys. Working with this tripod is kind of a new thing for me. But, no, don't fall back. There we go. That's better. So, anyhow, there's the patch. And once again, you can get this stuff at Joann fabric stores. And so I'm just going to give you another glance at the bottle and everything that it says on the bottle, so you know what it is you're getting if you decide to go purchase this. And you don't have to get a big bottle. I got a big bottle because I knew I'd be using a lot of it. So that's just me. So I'm going to get this out of the way. Now, once you've got your patches on, if you decide to do so, next you can come up with other embellishments. Here I used these silver studs. I think I have one laying someplace. No, I do not. Well, you know what? I'm going to show you where I got them from, how I removed them, and how I put them on. So, where's that belt? Ah, there it is. I thought it was on the floor. Alright. So anyway, here's this old belt that I have. It was like a billion sizes too big. I don't even remember where I got it. Probably one of my secondhand store finds. And of course, the only reason I bought it, being that it doesn't fit me, would be for the studs. Because look how easy they are to remove. All you need is a pair of these needle nose pliers. And so this will make your hands hurt though after a while. So what I did last night when I was making this hat was I basically just kind of removed them 3 at a time, pulled the teeth out, or lifted the teeth up rather, like that. See? See how the teeth are lifted on this one? I don't know if you can really see that very well, but there, that's better. You can see that the teeth have been lifted up. Okay, and you want to make sure the teeth are straight. They're going to be slightly kinked because when they're first put in by a machine at the factory, they're bent a certain way to hold them into the belt. Then when you unbend them, it bends the begin in a different place in the tooth. And then when you take it out, it's got to be, you want to pinch them with the pliers to make sure they're straight. Otherwise, you're going to be yanking on them and having a really difficult time. So now here we go. We're going to pop out this stud. Ta-da! And I'm going to show you guys what a pain in the ass it is to put these little studs through material. So once again, I'm just going to use this piece of scrap fabric right here. And so you can do these like in a diamond pattern. You can do them like in a row with little gaps in between, like I did, or you can do like a solid row. Doesn't matter really, or just a solitary stud. I think sometimes is kind of cool too. But anyway, you want to make sure your positioning is like, if you're going to go a straight line, like for instance, as a reference, for this I used, my strategy for getting these on a certain way was to point the little teeth obviously towards the hat and make sure they're like lined up and they're square with the edge of the brim. So that's how I kept mine, like, you know, even and straight. So, but yeah, positioning them is relatively easy. it's punching them through the fabric while maintaining their position. The position you're holding it in is can be kind of difficult and tricky. So anyway, I don't recommend doing this on stretchy fabric, just because it's gonna like the fabric will stretch while you're putting the stud on, and then when you're done it'll look funny. So also stretchy fabric tends to like loosen up and tear around the penetration site where you shove the teeth in. As you can see there, I don't know if you can get, there we go, that's a good shot. So shoved them in. Now you gotta hold it in place while you curl the teeth down, and this is basically what you do. You get it like this. See, this is tricky, keeping it in place while you curl the teeth down. So, here we go. Get the other one. There. And you want to put them so they're pointing downward, like down into the little bowl shape on like the underside of the stud. So that'll help them stay in there a little better. So, and once again, ta-da! So, there we go. Of course, if you're going to do a hat or anything, you don't have to use studs. You can use, like, jump rings. In fact, I've got, like, a whole little tray of colorful little jump rings right here. So, oh, I've got this bag, too. I forgot I had that. This little baggie of colorful jump rings. It'll be very fun. A very, lovely embellishment. You can use, like, pieces of, like, leather or twine, you know, braid it together. Use beads, use animal teeth, feathers, that kind of stuff. It's cool too. Safety pins, also are a very interesting embellishment. So, and also mesh, things like this. You can also use mesh to embellish over top of material on like a hat or something. And actually these plastic mesh bags, these I saved from when I bought the little glass pebbles that went inside the jewelry tree that you guys saw me make. So I'm saving these for a craft project because I know that they're going to come in really handy. So, and chain. So I've got some chain here. Actually, I'm going to show you though a few different kinds of chains. Ball chain, just a basic like gunmetal chain, a basic silver chain, and then I've also got like this kind of stuff too. It can look nice on a hat. So I mean, get creative, have fun with it. So also nail polish tends to also make a good craft decorating medium. So it just smells bad. That's pretty much the true downside. And yeah, it smells bad, and you've got a very small brush. Like, it's hard to like dump out nail polish and then use it that way. So you're basically like dipping, and then you cover a tiny little spot. Then you dip again, you cover a tiny little spot. It would take hours, probably, to cover everything. So, I mean, hey, but if you're like a really tedious sort of person and you're looking for something to keep you busy for that long, that's good too. Oh, and also sort of things like this too. I harvested these off of an old purse I bought at the Goodwill. See? So these little metal hoop, these thingies here. So, oh, and here's also some strips of artificial leather that were in the strap off of the old purse. So, I mean, you also use like buttons, things like that. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. I'm not really sure how useful it was, being that, you know, I already like had made the hat, but I pretty much went over the process and everything that I did. I mean, it was pretty simple. Just that it just basically took me. I worked on it off and on throughout the day, mostly in the latter part of the day, and then like I really got going on it. Like, oh gosh, like around midnight, I just kind of got this like fever to get it done. I was like, oh my god, I gotta get this done. I gotta get this done, because I was really going on it. And so yeah, I don't know if you know, I don't know if that's like a thing that normal people experience, but being that I have bipolar disorder, It's when I'm like really excited about something or excited about a project, I tend to think about it rather obsessively, and then I'll kind of get kind of manic and I'll not be able to sleep, or I'll find myself awake late at night. But 3 a.m., it's been a long time since I've pulled off something like that, so yeah. But there it is. Again, the hat. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this shit off of here. And I'm going to get you guys, show you guys a much better look at the hat and show you both of them next to each other. Hang on. Yeah, there's my lovely, messy workstation. Yeah, I'm having a beer. Yep. Oh, and here's the boyfriend's pants. Actually, I'm going to do another DIY video about something I'm going to do with this. Excuse me, pretty soon. And I'm going to try to get started on it, or at least get some planning done on it today. But anyway, here's the hats. The reason there's 2 of them here, actually, is because when we got back from Walmart, my mom found my hat in the bag, and she's like, "Whose is this?" And I'm like, I picked that out. I said, "Do you want me to take it back? Did you, were you upset that I picked it out and cost you $10 or whatever?" And she's like, "No, I really like it." And she started playing around with it, and she goes, "Can I have it?" And I'm like, "Well, Mom, I was gonna like decorate it, I was gonna Michelle-ify it, cause you know me, I can't do conventional. Like, why would I want anything plain and boring? Like, I'm just not like that. I mean, like, she had to have known I was gonna like do shit to it." So that's just how I do. But anyway, so yeah, here's the 2 hats next to each other, so you can see the difference. And see how, like I said, with the brush that I used to apply the paint, you can see how you can still see some of the original color in between, because you see how it's got these rows where it was sewn on, this detail here. So I kind of wanted to preserve some detail. I wanted there to be this original color still showing through. So actually, but on the top, I went ahead and painted it solid all the way over, because I had a spot where I accidentally put on too much paint and there was no way that I could like undo it. So I decided to just go ahead and paint the whole thing solid. So, yeah. Here we go. I'm still deciding if I'm going to put any more embellishments on it. Probably not. I think I like it how it is. I feel like if I put on anything else, it'll just be too much. And so there's some flowers down the sides too, towards the front. So, and then the back again. And of course this is rather feminine. I mean, it's very punk rock, it's very metal, it's very dark. However, I mean, it is a woman's hat, and I kind of wanted it to have something kind of girly, kind of summertime going on it, and I think I did pretty good. I mean, I think that handkerchief was like just the right thing. So, if you go to Walmart, actually, this is actually a men's hat, by the way. It's not a woman's hat, but all these hats they have there, though, this particular hat, the only size the hat was a small medium. They didn't have any, like, mediums or larges or anything like that. So if you've got kind of a melon head, you might be in trouble. So, some other hats that were there, too, that, definitely would have lent themselves very well to a project like this. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm happy with my hat, and I cannot wait to, like, actually, like, wear it around in public, because it's so fucking cool. So, anyway, I'm so happy with it. So, I guess that's it for this video. So, anyway, gosh, I guess there really isn't anything else to say. So, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and like and all that stuff. If you have any questions about craft projects or hats or anything pertaining to what you just saw, definitely ask me in the comments. I'll do my best to get around to it. I try to like reply to questions and whatnot in the comments. It just might take me a few days to get around to it, because I don't check my email every single day. I just go straight to YouTube, and so I'll scroll through my video manager just to see who's commenting or whatnot. So, alright, well, have a lovely day.